Is our new intro song?
Are we talking about Dota now?
Yes, we're talking about. Bert, go ahead and lead us in.
Hey, Cortana, are we talking about Dota now?
Oh, God.
You got like 5 minutes. I'll give you 5 more
minutes. Why don't you
minutes.
just endorse Microsoft while you're at it?
By the way, guys, Windows 10.
Are we recording?
We are. Go.
Alright, well, welcome to Tactical Pause. We're the 4 people going to the International. I'm Bert, here with... anyone else?
I'm Jay.
I thought you were introducing us.
I thought you were, yeah.
I'm Bert here with Cody. I'm Cody.
I don't know where you guys are on this, but Cody, Jay, and Creed.
I'm not anywhere. Ha
He refuses to webcam.
I don't have a camera.
Who doesn't have a camera in this day and age?
You have a camera?
You have a laptop. It has a camera.
You have a cell phone.
Then I
You have
gotta
a
get
cell
my laptop
phone.
out.
But
then
if
I
you
gotta
have
get
like
my phone out.
you don't want to do a laptop webcam because it just looks like you're shitting the entire thing, like because it's just that upward angle.
That's how Jay looks right now.
Yeah.
Well, he looks.
No, Jay's over here. Jay's over here.
No, I'm to your left.
Jay just looks like he's sitting in the darkness.
No, I look pretty well lit from. Oh, because
No, he
Even
looks
on
well
the other
lit.
one.
Looks fine.
Either way, we're going to the International. We've got like 3 days, guys. 3 freaking days.
Before we fly out.
And then we fly out and we get to be there for the grand event.
I'll be excited once we like get off the plane.
I'll be excited the morning I wake up.
I've been excited all week, and my work knows about it.
They're made very well aware.
It'll definitely make for an interesting trip, if nothing else.
So,
It will be fun.
group stages are just about over. If there's like one last matchup going on right now, I believe.
Yeah, I'm watching it. Empire versus VP for the last spot.
And
the Group B?
we've seen a lot of really interesting results so far. Na'Vi, IG, and Newbie all lower in the results.
Navi getting
It's like the previous. I feel like this year it's a previous winner curse. Alliance didn't even make it through the qualifiers. I mean, Na'Vi secured their way into the game, but now they are only sitting at, what, 3 points? So they are just last in their group, which is really surprising. I know they came in here.
They have a tough group, but yeah.
They've had some tough matchups, too. Like, they've been so close.
Yeah, but you can tell. I mean, they've played well at certain times, but at the same time, like they've equally kind of just been all over the place. You can tell they don't have like the leadership that they had before.
Yeah,
which they don't, obviously, because
they don't have that level.
That's why Secret's doing so well.
Secret is on fire next to LGD.
Secret and LGD.
Woo. Wow,
playing amazing. And we have 2 North American teams to represent this year. We got EG. With, who was it, 13 points?
EG's doing really good.
Second place or first place?
third, I think. No. Secret has second.
They're tied for third.
They're tied for third.
Yeah, they're tied for
With
third
them
with
in
Complexity and CDEC.
I meant in their group, because the groups are still technically
Well, as far as
separate,
points across the entire
Just
thing.
A,
It's groups, but it's the points that seed them, right? Into the next bracket.
It's the top 4 from both groups that do the winners bracket, I thought.
Yes. And lower 4 will go to the losers bracket. Na'Vi is going to hit... All of previous attendees are going to hit in the lower bracket.
Yeah. There's not one winner.
They are all at risk for elimination in their first sets of matches.
Yeah, Fnatic had a really bad day, too. They did.
Whereas, inversely,
anything.
Both Secret and LGD, I believe, are in a position in which all they have to do is win their first matches, and they're going to secure themselves at least $1 million prize.
Didn't LGD win?
Oh my gosh! And the prize pool,
$17.7 million.
That means even last place gets 50 million. Second place gets what, 250 million, or not million? I'm sorry, thousand.
They get
50,000.
53,000 each.
Between
or
like
not each, but per team.
13th and 16th place.
So everybody's guaranteed some good money. Every player there is bound to get $10,000 before taxes and government rapes. But this is huge. We've never seen a tournament get this large. And it makes me very curious as to why we don't see a lot more crowdfunded tournaments like this that are more supported by the developers. Like, why hasn't Blizzard kind of gone and done the same thing? Maybe they're not as competitive. They've been trying to push their competitive
That's not
scene.
the company I would reference. I mean, I'd talk more like
I was
all
I didn't want to bring
other
it
big
up.
game tournaments like that. It's like, I mean, why are they not doing some sort of prize pool like the way Dota handles it, where it's like, you know, a chunk of it, a good chunk of it's from their player base, frankly.
League of Legends, and League of Legends also has a stipulation in which the professional players are compensated with a salary, and so that's the reasoning behind the lower prize pools in their tournaments or their World Cups or series or whatever they do.
Yeah.
So different strokes for different folks. We're also going to see how Valve is going to change the competitive scene after TI, because now we're having majors and minors. I don't think we're going to have as much of a saturation in just random tournaments that are trying to generate prize pool money from users. It felt like the last couple of years there was like every week a new tournament coming up. Buy in, you're going to contribute to the prize pool, but then you'd only see like maybe a $20,000 prize pool or $30,000 prize pool. It wasn't much, and there was just this huge oversaturation of the tournaments. I think with Valve stepping in, we're going to see that not occur as much, and I'm also curious to see how they're going to start to stabilize these player rosters, because there's going to be a huge shuffle off the international. There always is. So are they going to require teams stay together for how long or extended periods of time? Are they going to keep organizations together for, are we going to see...
I don't think that should have anything to do with it, honestly. Like,
I think they do, because we need something to step in and take control of this scene. And it's obvious that a third party will not do so in the best interests.
But to tell people they have to play with a team for a certain amount of time, like, a lot of these people are younger, and it takes a lot of patience to like get along with someone well enough.
Yeah, but they're playing in a professional sport,
right?
And any professional sport has these rules in place for the entire season,
where you have trade deadlines,
and you have trade deadlines, and trade caps.
So that's not to say that you're stuck on a team, but
but we're talking two totally different kind of games here.
Well,
like,
but
it's
they want
really
to
different.
at the level of professional sports.
A 5-person team, like, you can't. In a game like this, where it's a 5-person team, you can't just trade fucking players. Like, it just doesn't work like that.
Well, it's not just that, because on top of being able the trading of players has gone on notoriously forever. I mean, we saw how quickly Fnatic swapped players in and out following their last few tournaments when they were on a downhill with Era and No Tail Big Daddy. So there's a lot of shifting that's already been going on, and I think it's good that we're going to have some stabilization to these rosters. We feel more connected to the teams when the rosters are more stable. Like Na'Vi had a huge fan base because we had the same core players for the longest time: Havos, Dendi, and Puppy. I think once Puppy left with Corky and went to Secret, huge amount of people went to Secret just for Puppy alone, I believe. Like, the impact of these players is huge, and the swing of fanfare to each organization, just because a player left, isn't fair to the organization or the remainder of the team in what they've worked for. I think on top of stabilizing the rosters, we're going to have to see some kind of implementation of either bench people or side people to take in place should there be injuries, need to be a rotation, somebody has personal reasons to be out. We need to have backups. We don't have that right now. Right now, like in the international, your roster of 5 people is your roster of 5 people. They made that extremely clear last year. So I think that we're going to see a lot more stability in the scene, but it's necessary. We need to see it more structured. We need to see it more in a league format to the bigger sports, basketball, baseball. Allow for some time to which a trade deadline's up, and then you have a 6 or 7 month gap, or a couple of months in which you're stuck with that roster. And that roster will take you to the end of the year finals or championships, which will very likely be the international going forward. So with the majors and minors, it's very curious to see how they plan to lay that out, what the trade deadlines become, and how long we plan to enforce this, because Dota and esports in general are a year-round sport. We're not limited to a season of doing so.
But that's the only thing that you have. I'll have to look into the rules. It doesn't seem like they have much in the taste of like specific rules of the trades and how many you can do. But if you go to Dota2.com/majors, you can see their splash page. That's really all it is, and it has fall, winter, spring, and summer. So these and that's what it shows. It shows an entire year.
Get that far. He needs to come back and grab some fuel rod.
Individual season, can you trade in between those actual individual tournaments? Like, or does the entire team have to stay the same from fall to spring to summer? So those type of specific rules would really, honestly, my opinion on it.
So yeah, I'm very curious to see how we're going to handle this, how the majors minors come into play. It'll be very, very cool, and I'm excited to see the stability. I mean, Creed, I know you've got some concerns and you don't feel that this is the same sport. I agree, it's not, but I think that these kind of guidelines are required in order for us to move forward and to legitimize.
It was going in the last year to have all these trades, and you couldn't really follow a team, and you couldn't really attach yourself. I mean, even Team Secret had so many players in and out until they got their core. And they've stuck to their core, but they also had a lot of switch-ins.
I don't know. I feel like to some extent, like that's just part of like the MOBA scene. Is like you're gonna go through players because you got to learn who's gonna work with you and who's not.
But
the other thing to keep in mind is
it's the Wild West right now, and it needs some regulation. So it's kind of nice to have some sort of structure there. And it seems the structure seems still a little loose, but there it exists instead of all these. Jay's right. All the tournaments that were just like all over the place. Star Ladder had like a bunch of them.
I mean, I agree. Star Ladder is fucking ridiculous, but
Star Ladder has like 2 or 3 seasons that they go
hasn't
through per
even
year.
paid out like all of its people.
And now with fantasy, because the team and structure are there, fantasy actually means something, and you're not like.
Yes, I would love to see fantasy come back, and it hasn't done so because there hasn't felt like there's been a lot of legitimacy and understanding behind it. I think
it was terribly done. It was absolutely
the concept and the idea of it was there, and I appreciate what they went for and what they're going for. But there were a lot of hurdles in the way, not just in how that fantasy program was conceived. It had a lot to do with we never understood when a player was going to be playing. Were they playing as a stand-in, and was it ever known to us that they were playing as a stand-in? If they were between teams, they never got points. Like there were issues around how the leagues and the games themselves were handling, or the teams themselves were handling, and how that interacted with the fantasy system. I was on the forums the entire time, and to have that understanding of how and why we didn't get points for specific situations, it hurt. It sucks, and I definitely want to see an improvement on it.
Didn't you win?
I did win, absolutely. And now my teleport effect is gone, and I'm pissed off. But that is outside of the point.
You see, they give you something so that way they can take it away, so you can know how
we have not had Fantasy Season 3 yet, and I need to fucking reclaim that throne.
But have you noticed that you'll watch games, and at the very end it still has the fantasy points amount on the right side? So it's still there, it's still generating the points, but apparently the problem we came from connecting the goddamn profiles, and the other problem was players using different accounts for professional games that weren't actually tagged.
So a lot of problems there. I think with Valve saying, all right, the standard is if you're playing a professional game, you're going to be using this account, your main account, whatever your tournament account may be, and you're going to be working under these guidelines and this criteria, and the organizations themselves have to work within these guidelines and this criteria. So in the long run, I think it's going to work out, and it's going to be good for us, but it's still, we got to wait to see. We have no information on it until yet.
It's changing.
And yeah, exactly.
I mean, it's one of those things, like you said, you just got to wait and see. I mean, no one's going to really know how it's going to play out till we see it.
But I'm excited to see it. I'm excited to see what these changes bring and how it goes. Now,
I'm excited to be in Seattle.
I'm very excited to be in Seattle. I'm excited more so because in the qualifiers and all of this, we've seen a lot of techies. We've seen a lot of techies.
Yeah. He didn't do very good on the first day, though.
I thought he did pretty bomb actually. The whole point is like one game, he didn't actually die without it being a suicide until 30 minutes into the game, and that's how you play it. Like Tusk, Snowball.
No, I mean there's been some well played techies. Don't get me wrong, but I mean I think he only had like a 20% win rate in on the first day.
First day it was pretty. He only got like maybe 1 or 2 games in, so it'd be like probably.
They might have played
50%
techies well, but like as a whole team, like the teams that chose techies didn't do so well. I saw some pretty good techies play today, though.
It was really interesting to see Secret counter the techies. I think that happened either today or yesterday. Where they also it was yesterday. They had the Broodmother, and the Broodmother was just letting her spiders walk over the mines, and then the Broodmother just stomped over the rest of her lane.
Yeah, well, Broodmother with the spiders.
Techies actually has an 85% win rate right now.
Oh, does he?
He's had 6 wins and 1 loss.
I was gonna say,
maybe I was thinking about a different hero then.
So I've been excited to see it. There's been a couple of different ways that he's been played. A lot of it's been kind of laning. There's been a couple of holdout games, but a lot of really good plays out of him. Really good plays.
Out of like, he's actually probably that's one of the highest win rates. Because all the other ones like have only been played like maybe 1 to 3 games. He's the highest with 7 games and all wins. 85%.
Well, you got to think he's been paired off with Tusk, and when you have Tusk snowball in, punches them into the air, they come back down. By the time they come back down, Techies has already laid a mine, and if they're not dead yet, then just suicide, nail them dead, and then come back in half the time anyway. Like, it was insane how well some of these people have
there's some really good suicide, really good suicides done. A lot of Blink Dagger suicides were pretty solid.
Yeah, there was an interesting pickup on the techies with the Blink Dagger earlier I saw in one game. And to see the kind of split push potential techies may have, goes out, drops a couple mines, clears the wave, and blinks out.
I-2000.
Yes, thank you.
Oh, man. He was the only person who didn't put a first point into suicide. He actually put points into his bombs first, and then went right into the jungle and started laying them out. And oh my gosh, did he have some amazing locations for those mines?
Yeah, like, first point was bombs.
Wrote some more down.
Yeah, first point was bombs. Second 2 were suicide.
I feel like the story of like half the games I see are like if Anti-Mage just not get like banned out, like he just gets completely underestimated in the early game, and they just let him fucking farm. And like I've just seen a buffed up Anti-Mage like turn like 20 loss, like 20 kill like leads into losses because they ignore him too much.
Yeah, absolutely, I agree. And I think the 2 biggest game turners, or the ones that have been the largest impact, are Anti-Mage and the Leshrac. If Leshrac is not banned,
Leshrac's like almost always.
Well, Anti-Mage is the best Leshrac counter. Like if you have an Anti-Mage versus Leshrac, you're gonna outwin that in at least the long term. But if you don't have someone like an Anti-Mage to deal with the Leshrac, holy crap, has that character just been ripping teams to shreds?
Yeah,
and
it's been pretty bad.
But Anti-Mage has just been. He's shown that he's still a solid carry. He used to be a solid carry back in the day. Got a little unreliable with the agility game being nerfed, but with Gyro being so stable, you've just seen him so more, and it's really just been Gyro's call down mixing with Queen of Pain's ult, and then you get another couple bursts if you can fit him into your team to just try and finish him off. But man, has that Queen of Pain been popular too.
Queen of Pain, has been extremely
popular. Yeah, you're right. Queen of Pain and Gyro are the 2 most popular.
Well, a really interesting stat to come out of day 2. After day 2, Ember Spirit had been played 8 times by both the North American league teams and the Chinese teams. The Chinese teams went 7-1 with him. The American teams went 1-7 with him. So there's a very different. This is a really interesting fact I heard on the stream, but very interesting to hear how differently those 2 cultures play that same hero and the very drastic outcome of those stats. So
I wonder if the same is with Anti-Mage, because Anti-Mage is 7-7 right now, 50% win rate.
That'd be interesting. I'd like to see it broken down by the teams and do that.
Loss was.
So Team Empire and BP are about to play their second game. I know it probably won't be relative to whoever's listening to this later, but Empire got VP got the first win, so VP takes this one. VP's got the top 4. Not, they go to the third game. Yeah.
It's gonna be fun. You know what's really been exciting is the games themselves have been action-packed and almost non-stop. Ganks everywhere, very short laning phases. It's only been like maybe 7 minutes really, and then like the action. If the action hasn't started by that point, it's already going. Like it's getting going at that there.
You know the pattern I've been seeing, and I think that's with this patch is we have amazing early game fights,
Yes.
and eventually one team does kind of get that ball rolling, and they get the momentum. But as soon as they drop the ball, and they've had so many kills, they're just worth so much gold that by the time that they die and get wiped the first time, holy crap! You just watch it, the gold graph just fall straight down. And they make so much money like from mistakes, and that's really what's driven like a lot of these games. Is as soon as a team in the lead makes the mistake, they just hand the win over to the other team. It's amazing. That's just the way that the gold's been dropping from because you get like Queen of Pain has 7 kills, gets killed, and all of a sudden he's worth 2,000 gold alone. And then if you have a bounty hunter on your team, which has been another favorite from a lot of teams, you get that track gold to top it off.
Yeah, there's been a lot of bounty hunter picks.
Bounty Hunter's been huge because he helps with that comeback mechanic. If you fall behind, or if you could even use his bounty to get ahead, you start gaining more and more gold for the team all around, as well as you're getting that move speed bonus for those allies that are near the bounty. So
yeah, man, track gold makes games.
Or track gold, thank you. Track is just Bounty Hunter in general has been huge, and I think with Bounty Hunter and Techies, you're forced to play the game very differently. Techies, you've got the mines that you got to worry about, and you're very scared to go out. Bounty Hunter, it's an invis hero that you're scared to. It's always going to start tracking you or give visions to where you're at, and take you for gold, very easily and gank you. We've seen a couple of other those same kind of assassin heroes or invis assassin heroes come through. I think we've seen quite a few Clinks try to come in. Navi, I think, tried to run it a couple of times with Havost.
Clinks has been really great damage-wise, but it's so funny when he just gets randomly called out by a Queen of Pain ult and just disappears. Like he just doesn't have, he hasn't used Dark Pack, so he just doesn't have the life points. Queen of Pain just with the Scepter ults, and he's just gone. He's just blown away. It's insane.
A wild Rupert has appeared.
Yeah.
Putting his ass in Cody's face.
That's what he does. Is that right, meow?
All right, guys, I'm going to head out for the night.
Oh, is that it? Are you done?
That's it for me.
You don't have anything else you want to talk about in the qualifiers? Anything? Any other exciting moments that you were hyped up about?
Who do you want to win?
Yeah, who do you want to win?
Well, I'm going secret, of course.
All right.
CDAX actually put on a pretty good show for being a newer team.
I'm rooting for CDAC.
Kind of bummed out
North
at
America,
Fnatic's.
USA.
I'm kind of bummed out with like Fnatic's performance. I was hoping they do a little bit better. Navi is just absolute balls right now, but I mean, pretty much everyone predicted it. Like, no one really thought they were going to do that good, and honestly, they haven't.
Complexity's US too, though.
Yeah, Complexity and EG.
Yeah, EG's doing pretty good.
They're North American.
He's a great player, but I hate that little kid.
Sumai?
He's so salty. He's so salty, and his streams are terrible.
He's a funny character. I like him. Little 17-year-old Pakistani.
Yeah, and his streams are so salty.
Salty.
Salty salt. Well, thank you, Creed. We will see you at the International and at the airport. I'm excited. Only about...
Yeah, I'll stay in contact with you guys beforehand, and we'll make sure.
You got your plane ticket, right?
Yeah, I think so. I'll have to check on.
Thank you. Just verify. Make sure.
Yeah. All right, I will talk to you guys later.
Thank you.
Yo.
See ya.
Yep.
Oh, it's going to screw up my whole thing. Okay. Oh, well. Other than that, we're going to the International. It's going to be exciting. I'm really, really freaking excited for it.
Jay will be tweeting nonstop,
I'll
so
be
just
tweeting
follow Tactical Pause and
Jay will
James.
just be a twit the whole time. It's fine.
Pretty much.
They picked up PL for VP.
And my whole screen just went funky because of Creed leaving.
Disappeared.
I'm probably in the same spot.
No, you have moved. I don't know if I can fix this, but oh well. I think that's about all that we've got. Anything else that you want to bring up or talk about there, Cody?
Hungry.
Go get food.
Want to get some food.
I think you should go get some food.
Did you like those? Did you like those like on the spot stats?
I
Like,
did.
pulled out of the top of my head.
Everybody, if you're listening to this and you're going to the international, look out for us. We're going to be going around doing interviews with random people, man on the street. We're going to ask you, get up to your Dota knowledge. We're going to ask you if a hero's been buffed or nerfed. We're going to ask
In the last patch.
in the last patch. Yeah, if we're going to make them progressively harder. So if you don't make it, if you make the first few questions correctly in the current patch, we're going to go patch earlier. So we're going to really fuck with you. And then we're going to be interviewing hopefully some parents that we can spot out and see what they would imagine some item names to be. So I'm really excited. Guys, thank you very much for joining us.
We're gonna go there and be like, so you're here to bring your kid? No, he's actually just he had to come. We couldn't get a babysitter. We're here for this. So it's gonna be like 9 times out of 10. I can't wait.
It'll be fun. I'm really excited. All right, guys. Well, we will see you all at the International. Follow us at Tactical Pause. Make sure to subscribe on YouTube. And we'll see you all in Seattle.
See ya.
Seattle.
See ya.